You know, every once in a while, I come on YouTube and I just make my goofy anime videos, just talking about shit. Every once in a while, I gotta get real with you. Cause at the end of the day, I'm a real nigga and I need my real people to really feel me when I say these things. I need to make sure y'all tuned in. So I'm here to talk about the path of change, where it is watch a man try to change and fail, and watching a man try his hardest not to change in a world where he needs to. You feel me? So, of course, if you think about that, you probably done seen the TikToks. You know, BoJack Horseman and Goodnight Poom Poom for watching a man fail to change, and we got Yuji Itadori for watching a man try his hardest not to. Now, I think if you haven't watched Goodnight Poom Poom, if you haven't read it, it's crazy because I got another video coming out with Goodnight, and I plan on never rereading it. It's one of the 3 manga that I will never fully reread ever again in my life. I got it on the list. It's on the list. It talks about the aspects of someone who was trying his hardest to get through life, and we start from like the beginning, early stages, from him in kindergarten all the way to him in adulthood, and we watching this kid, that's everything that's going on around him from his point of view, and we're seeing his whole life played out. So we just gonna start at the beginning, because a lot of what people don't really point out is that a lot of early things, all of our early habits, all of our early interactions in life plays like the biggest parts, because if you don't learn to cut it off when it needs to, it gets to a point from being a simple interaction to becoming a habit. And if it becomes a habit, it becomes a routine. Once it becomes in your routine, it's hard to break that routine because it's what you're comfortable with. It's hard to get out of that comfort zone. Poom Poom, he was a really interesting child because he grew up in a broken home. He grew up in a home with his parents. They wasn't seeing eye to eye till eventually they got divorced. And his mother is the one who kept custody of him, and his mother wasn't paying attention to him a lot as a kid. And where he did find attention was from this new girl in his class who he had a crush on, and she said something to him which really stuck with him, because the thing is, he was a kid at the time. We all had our crush, and it resonates with us a lot, but it's just a kid thing. But for someone like Poom Poom who's going through life with no attention from his family, and the little family that he has, his uncle that does pay attention to him, something happened with the uncle where his uncle couldn't be around anymore. He's losing people in his life actively. He's not keeping in touch with anyone. He's going through school. Then we have all this. The moment that someone pays attention to him, he's going to cling on to that person. So then he also gets introduced to, and this is what I really want to talk about, he gets introduced to doing adult acts with this lady who is his uncle's sort of like girlfriend, about to be soon to be wife. And she does something to him that I feel like it's not acknowledged enough. Men's health matters. Men's mental health matters. That's all I'm gonna say. But it happens to him. It can happen to any guy. And from that early age onwards, in like further relationships, we can see how that introduction at that early of a starting point affected the rest of his relationships throughout life. I feel he was confusing himself with it. Like, he was confusing his feelings of love with lust. He was confusing his lust with love. And when he had a good girl going, but in his mind, he was just like, oh my God, I want to do it with her so bad. I want to do it. Where he ends up doing something to that girl, which ruins their whole connection, because it's like, you don't know how to restrain yourself, but you don't know no better at that point. Like, you should be old enough to know better, like you know better, but at the same time, you not really tuned in, because this is just This is just what you know. This is how you were introduced to it. So you don't really understand how to differentiate, how to sort of separate things. And I love the fact that Goodnight Poom Poom, they never really show his face. He always has this like very cartoonish standout design. And it changes throughout the story depending on where he's at in life, but it's always the cartoonish design. And I feel like that's a way for, like, in our point of view, in his point of view, he's sort of disassociating himself from the rest of his life. It's sort of to like derealize himself. So like, because if this was a real person, and it's crazy because this is the type of character that I'm reading him and I'm like, I don't like this nigga. He's not likable. He's not likable at all. He's not likable. The things that he does, he's not likable at all. But at the same time, it's real though, because this is a side of a person that you don't see. A person who tries to do good and it just doesn't go wrong because he just always reverts. He's always regressing. He had a good thing going for him when he was helping that girl, when he was helping her with her comic and her illustrations and shit, when he was helping her get published. He had a great thing going for him. Good job, good relationship, good healthy relationship with her where it was more just a friendship thing. He had people in his life. I forgot what happened that made him revert. I think someone came back or like something happened with his mom and he just regressed. He regressed, he separated from her and he lost all that progress so fast, so fucking fast. I hate it. I hate this nigga. But it's so real because it happens, bro. It happens. I even in myself, I can relate to some of that. Just keep thinking that you're making 2 steps forward, and then something happens and you 3 steps back. You back to where you was. You probably even drop even worse. You probably go even lower. It's so fucking real, bro. It's so fucking real, bro. It's a real thing and we just don't pay attention. But I feel like you need to be able to acknowledge that sort of thing where it's like, realistically speaking, we all not gonna have that I have no enemies. We not always that forgiving person. We not always like, we're human, bro. We succumb to our desires. Find God, bro. Find God. Pray. Pray that you a good one. Pray that you get you a good heart, bro. It's real life shit. It's real life shit. And I just, what's up, bro? Alright. It sort of sits that life is not always just peaches and rainbows. It's not as straightforward to changing yourself. You could try your hardest. You gotta break your habits though. You gotta break your habits, otherwise you're gonna fail to change. He tried his hardest. You can't say he didn't try his hardest. We seen him try his hardest. It just didn't happen the way life happens. Shit happens. Shit hits the fan and that fan will keep spinning and spreading the shit all on the walls. Like, bro, it happens to us all. It happens to the best of us. And I just wanna, that's the nitty gritty. I feel like, yeah, we may love the little stoic personality, but this is this is real shit. This is a real character. This is a real character where we don't like him, and the fact that we don't like him is because we all know a part of ourselves resonates in this fucking story. Fuck. On to Yuji Itadori. Yuji, watching a man try his hardest not to change, and realistically speaking, and this is not gonna be me addressing too much of the story, this is just a real life fact. Yuji is a high school kid. He should not have to change. He shouldn't have to make that decision so early in his life. That's why anonymity is so important it's so important to have anonymity in your life, bro. An adult that knows that they're an adult, that knows their responsibilities as an adult, is to guide a child. You don't need to have that child work all their problems out by themselves at an early age. They don't need to grow up too fast. Don't try your hardest to get into grown folks' business. You a kid, bro. Do kid things. It's not your responsibility. Don't grow up too fast, because when you grow up too fast, you try to grow up too fast, and that's why these kids is on drugs. That's why these kids is getting arrested. That's why these kids is not making it. They trying too much. They trying to move too fast. You got a whole life ahead of you. You only live once. This is everybody's first time living. Make your life. Make that childhood count, bro. You don't need to take it too serious. Take it serious, don't take it too serious, bro. You are an innocent person. Yuji is an innocent child. He was an innocent child watching. And it's crazy because Gojo pointed out to Megumi that, yeah, you see why Yuji's so like successful as a sorcerer, even though he's young and he just started, is because he's not relying on other people. But at the same time, I could tell you why Yuji is so bad at being a sorcerer. It's because he's not accustomed, his mentality just ain't accustomed to the fact that we losing people. People die every motherfucking mission. People will die every mission. He's not accustomed to that. He's green. He's green as hell. He's just strong. He don't need to rely on other people because he's strong physically. But once that mentality breaks, once that snaps, bro, it don't matter how strong you is. It don't matter how strong you is if your mind ain't right, bro. Yuji, it's sad seeing that this is a real thing where something real life happens. Something in the world can happen. My video cut off because it overheated. I'm gonna make this last point fast because I gotta go. I gotta get ready for work. Though, what's the name? I can also say on the point of him being young, I can also say that it's sad that Yuji has to sort of grow up fast, but at the same time, if you do not make a change in your life when it is required, when people need all of you and you so used to not putting in everything and not trying to make a change for everyone else, if you are doing that, you are a detriment. You are going to become a detriment in your life. You are going to become a detriment to yourself. You are going to ruin everything for yourself if you don't want to make that change. Get out of your comfort zone. Because if you're not trying to make a change in a world that requires you to change in order to keep up with everything else around you, if you are not doing anything, you will fall behind. You will fall behind fast. Life does not wait for nobody. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say real quick. You feel me? Oh, I can't wait for that next Good Night Pum Pum video, boy. All I'm gonna say is it involves two men and a peer. Y'all boys say, I'm out.